The NBA playoffs. Game 7. This is what we not necessarily live for, but fuck, I mean, like, Game 7 is something that we all sort of dream of seeing. Many NBA players dream of playing in it, and it wasn't much of a game. The Miami Heat absolutely blew out the Indiana Pacers 99-76. The second quarter, they outscored the Pacers 33-16. LeBron James had a typical LeBron James, mustering over 30 points on anyone who attempted to D him up. When his three-point shot is going down, and especially when the mid-range shot is going down, you're simply at his mercy because he could take you off the dribble. Everyone knows he's the MVP of the league for good reason. He finished with 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. The biggest surprise in this game was Dwyane Wade. This was the second time in the postseason that he had 20-plus points. He looked awful in Game 6. As a matter of fact, he looked awful this entire series. But this is where I sort of go into the chess match between Erik Spoelstra and Frank Vogel, because you got to think about, okay, who's going to D up LeBron James? You hope Paul George is going to do it. He didn't. Or Lance Stevenson also didn't. They combined for 17 points. Paul George had foul trouble. He eventually fouled out. He had 7 points on 2 of 9 field goals. Lance Stevenson, who, fun fact, won every single year the state title that he was in high school in New York, finished with 10 points. Not a good game for either of them. So going back to the chess match between both coaches, George Hill was on Dwyane Wade a lot of the time in this game, and it was so simple for Dwyane Wade to not only throw up shots, some of those being bricks, although I believe he finished 7 of 16. 7 of 16 with 9 rebounds. The reason he got those 9 rebounds, plenty were offensive because George Hill was guarding him. So this is a 5'6" swing man, one of the best in the league, not in this series, but overall one of the best in the league, against a 6'2", 6'3" point guard in George Hill. Went to Uipui, by the way, Indiana University, Purdue University of Indianapolis. If you didn't know what Uipui was, I was not dissing him. And he would post up George Hill, and then he would, if he missed, he would just get his own rebound and go back up. He'd either get the foul or he'd get 2 points. A tremendous bounce-back game from Dwyane Wade. I assume that Danny Green is going to have the task of guarding a rejuvenated Dwyane Wade. Chris Bosh, where art thou in this series? I believe he finished with 9 points and 8 rebounds. Ray Allen had 10 points. All 10 of those came in the first half. For Indiana, Paul George, as I said, not a great game, 7 points. Roy Hibbert had 18 points and 8 rebounds, though he also had foul trouble. David West had a good game, but aside from that, there wasn't much to it. Augustine didn't have a great game. George Hill didn't have a great game. Again, I believe, and though he does he deserve all the credit in the world? No, of course not. But I believe that Erik Spoelstra has tremendously outcoached Frank Vogel in this series. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what matchups to play, and he also played great the matchups that he wanted offensively and the way that he had his team play defensively. Every time Hibbert got it in the post, a majority of the game, Hibbert or David West, double team the shit out of them. Make them give up the ball, make them beat you from 3. George Hill did a few times. He went 4 of 14 for 14 points. Paul George obviously did not. The Pacers had a horrible shooting game. Double team them every time they get the ball, let them pass out and give up a long shot instead of a solid look from Hibbert or David West. Great stuff from great stuff from Erik Spoelstra defensively in this game. So 3 straight NBA Finals for the Miami Heat, 99-76. They beat the Pacers. They faced the Spurs on Thursday. Now the matchup that you should be looking for is Kawhi Leonard, the guy that they drafted in order to not only D up some of the best, but when they do face him, D up LeBron James. Can he do it? I don't know. Remains to be seen. Honestly, I think it's going to be an overhyped matchup. I told you it's a matchup to watch because obviously whoever guards LeBron is going to be a matchup to watch to see if he can shut him down. If he holds him to 20 points, huge win. If he holds him to 20, you know what? Let's just put a number on it. Why don't we? You and I, the audience. Why don't we do 24.5? If Kawhi Leonard gives up less than 24.5 points, I'd say that's a win, a moral win for Kawhi Leonard. Obviously, the other matchup to watch is Danny Green on Dwyane Wade and Tim Duncan on Chris Bosh. Can Duncan keep up with Bosh? I also say no. However, as Cenk Uygur told me this morning, people have lost a fortune doubting Tim Duncan. A very fair point. How many games do you guys think it goes? We will discuss ad nauseum, just kidding, on TYT Sports. So leave a thought in the comments. I'll try to get to as many as I can. Give us a thumbs up, share with your friends, and most importantly, do us a favor, do me a favor, and subscribe to TYT Sports.